What's going on, guys, and welcome to my review of Liza Frankenstein, a film that I was kind of curious about. I didn't quite hear that much about, but then once the movie was released, I started hearing mediocre to positive things about it. So, yeah, color me curious. Thank you so much, as always, guys, for clicking here. I really do appreciate it. So essentially, the film follows this misunderstood teenage goth girl that's sort of a recluse. She doesn't have any friends. She's kind of like the character in the background that nobody wants to deal with, nobody wants to play with. All the while, some rando grave gets struck by lightning and this corpse is reanimated. Once they find each other, she tries to make him the man of her dreams. And just by that premise alone, certain parts of it wouldn't really be for me, but as I said before, I've heard really crazy, quirky things about this film. It is a horror comedy. The horror sort of enticed me, sort of roped me in. Yeah, that's the weirdness in me. Hey, and I'm proud of it. I savor it. But any other given moment, any other given genre, but normally this really would be a premise for me. But it has its moments. Was it perfect? No. But before we get into any of that, let's get into the positives for Liza Frankenstein. On the upside, Kathryn Newton, who plays Lisa, the main character, was fantastic. I've liked her ever since I've seen her in Supernatural. That's the first thing I've ever seen her in. I'm pretty sure that's probably the first thing anybody has seen her in. I might be wrong. And then she was in Freaky and a bunch of other stuff. She's pretty good in just about anything she does. And I like what she brought to this character, to the character of Lisa. This kind of frightened, sort of recluse, weird, goth, and different. And with her character, I found that there was kind of a moral to this, to where no matter how different you are, you can still fit in. And I think that's what this character pretty much brings out. And that's what this character kind of teaches in the film as well. She is this kind of weird recluse goth girl, but she, kind of plays it off as you don't know what this girl is going to do. She goes from this kind of sweet, innocent, to kind of homicidal. She's got her kind of homicidal moments in a way. And I think she plays it off really good. Kathryn Newton is one of those actresses that I hope to see more of. I really do. But I think she played this character with such poise and, in a way, grace. I really did like her in the film. I really did like her in the role of Lisa. I really enjoyed her performance. She gave it her all. And like I said, she gives it her all in just about anything she does. And like I said, ever since I've seen her in Supernatural, I don't think that girl can do no wrong. I really do hope to see more of her in the future, and I'm pretty sure I will. I even like the chemistry between her and the creature. Once this creature gets resurrected mysteriously, I like the chemistry between them two. And also, one more thing about Lisa, I'm kind of backtracking here. You find out that she suffered this really tragic past, and going back to what I said about Kathryn Newton's performance of this film, I do think that really shows, that really shines, and it just brings out what this character is supposed to be and what the filmmakers is trying to tell about this character. And I think it was a really good backstory. I think it was a really good character development, and I really did enjoy it. I really did appreciate it. Again, back to the chemistry between her and this creature. I think they played off of each other really well. This creature, who's basically just some random dead guy of a grave that she kept on visiting in the first act, just some rando guy. I think he did a really good job. Cole Sprouse, who played him, is an actor I don't really know of. I've looked at some of his filmography. He's in most stuff that I don't really watch or care to watch, but I think he did really good as the creature in Liza Frankenstein. I think he brought a certain kind of horror-esque sort of feel to this, while at the same time not really taking himself that seriously. This movie doesn't really take itself too seriously. It is a horror comedy, but there are moments to where, yes, you're laughing, and then the next moment you're like, oh shit. And Carla Gugino, who played the stepmother of the main character, she was fantastic. Every time she was on screen, she got a smile out of me. She's one of those characters that you'd love to hate. She's a complete maniacal, I have to say it, bitch. There's no other way I could put it. That she was a definite bitch. I'm sorry. It's true. Just watch the film and you'll see. But every time that she would show up, she lit up the screen for me. She always got a laugh from me, and she always got a smile, and I always perked up every time she showed up. That character, dang. Yeah, I really did enjoy that character. She just the way that she played it off was just priceless. I really did enjoy it. I really did enjoy her performance and everything that she put into it. She was a delight. She was awesome, plain and simple. I loved the way the movie looked. Zelda Williams, who was the director of this, did a really fantastic job. And if I didn't know any better, I could have swore Tim Burton was right there on set giving her pointers. Because this looked like a straight up Tim Burton film. The way the set designs looked, even the way the creature looked, it kind of reminded me of Edward Scissorhands just a little bit, just without the scissor hands, and Johnny Depp. But Zelda Williams, who is the daughter of the late Robin Williams, FYI, she did a really good job. I think she really shined as a director, especially for this film. But going back to the way the film looked, it was definitely candy to your eyes. Visualization candy. With the coloring and with just the different shots. If you know anything about Tim Burton movies, you'd have thought that this was a Tim Burton movie, but it's not. Zelda Williams did a really good job at directing this, and you'd have thought that Tim Burton was like right there giving her pointers. I wouldn't be surprised if he was. I'm pretty sure he wasn't, but still. Fantastic job. In terms of looks, flawless. This movie is rated PG-13. But after watching this movie, and after all the things that I've said about how a PG-13 movie feels restrained and feels like it's holding back, after watching this, there really should be two types of PG-13 films from now on, and this should be the movie that sets that precedent. What this movie does is, yes, you don't see that much gore, but you can see certain things, and certain things are hinted at that doesn't feel like it's restrained. You can see like certain things in shadows and some blood splatter, but you know what's going on. Even though this is PG-13, it feels like a R rating, like maybe a soft R rating, but it does feel like a very different PG-13 type of film. And I really did appreciate that. It's like one of those films that wasn't afraid to hold anything back, while at the same time knowing that it's a PG-13 movie. It was actually real different and kind of refreshing. Again, it didn't feel like one of those movies that was restraining itself. It didn't feel like a restraint movie like most PG-13 movies are. It felt like a genuine, soft R-rated, but in a PG-13 style, if that makes any sense. And that I really did appreciate. So, again, two types of PG-13 movies. The soft kind that feels like it's holding everything back, and the hard kind, which was Lisa Frankenstein, that felt like there was stuff there in front of you, but still enough for it to be a PG-13. So soft, hard. And this was definitely a hard PG-13. And I really did appreciate that. It just seemed like they took a lot more balls in this film than what they do in most PG-13 movies, and that's what we need more of. That was kind of a refreshing view standpoint in my eyes. Moving on to my mix, the comedy wasn't half bad, but it wasn't fully 100% like I had wished. It was what I expected, though, because comedies nowadays, as I've said many times before, just doesn't really do that much for me. Now, on the positive side for the film, it was mostly all Kathryn Newton's character. And, of course, the chemistry between her and this creature. But it was mostly all Kathryn Newton's character because the type of character she would play, it was this quirky, really weird character that would have these sudden outbursts of just rage, but in such a funny way that in most of those scenes, I did find myself laughing. So it was mostly just all her. There was other moments, too, that made me laugh, things that I can't really get into here, but that's what worked the most for me. But the other half, the negative side, everything else just kind of fell flat. And it is what it is. Like I said, comedies just doesn't really do it that good for me. Not 100%, not like they used to when I was growing up. Maybe that has something to do with age, I don't know, but it's just, comedy nowadays, it falls flat for the most part. But for Lisa Frankenstein, it mostly all came from Kathryn Newton. If it wasn't for her, this probably would be in the negative spot. She was just so damn entertaining. Again, the comedy wasn't bad. Because of her, it didn't suck. There was a certain scene that happens at the beginning of the film, again, I won't get into, where it made me laugh so hard. It's when her and this creature first meet. Certain things happen. Some of it is actually in the trailer, so I guess if I do tell you, I won't spoil anything. But it is in the trailer, and if you watch it, you probably know what I'm talking about. But when they first meet, that whole scene, I kind of busted up laughing. I didn't cry. It didn't hit me to that extent. But it did hit my funny bone. I guess you could say the comedy did work for me more than the negative side, but it was pretty decent. I did actually laugh a little bit more than most movies that I can actually say for sure nowadays in terms of comedy. And now, moving on to my negatives, I only have two. The first one is the creature. As much as I enjoyed Cole Sprouse's performance, and as much as I enjoyed the creature himself and just the design and the look of him, I felt like they didn't give him much of a backstory. And I know that's not what this movie was intending for it to be. It's all about Lisa. It's called Lisa Frankenstein. But I wish they would have took at least 20 minutes at most to just say what kind of life he had. It doesn't really give you that much. You get a little glimpse of it, of him playing the piano, which makes you think, maybe he was a pianist in his day. But that's it. It doesn't give you any more than that, and I kind of wish they would have extended that just a little. That's just me. I mean, I'm a character and story guy. Yes, I do harp about action and horror a lot, but when it comes to characters, I want to feel. I want to feel just a little bit, and for the creature of this film, I just wish I felt a little more. I don't think it would have hurt the film at all. It wouldn't have took away from the Lisa character. And last but not least, this is kind of a soft negative because it's just a me thing. This really isn't for me. I'm really not the target audience for something like this. It's not one of those that I'll probably go out and buy. It's not one of those that I'll watch continuously. I'll probably watch maybe once if it streams. But that's it. I'm really not the target audience for something like this. It was a good time. It was fun. I did enjoy myself, but I'm really not the audience for it. And I knew that rolling in, but I still enjoyed what I enjoyed out of it. It's just really not something I can probably recommend to a lot of people, but only a handful. But in the end, guys, despite my issues with it, I still had a good time. It was still a fun, enjoyable ride. I still enjoyed the performances. I enjoyed the way the movie looked. It was candy to the eyes. And I just enjoyed the all-out performances that was put into it. It was still enjoyable and a happy accident. So Lisa Frankenstein, what was your thoughts on it? Have you seen it yet? Are you a fan? Did you enjoy what it brought out? Did you laugh at all? Or did you not get any enjoyment out of this at all? Were you one of those that just didn't care? Leave me a comment down below and give me your thoughts. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this. I really do appreciate it. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. And make sure to click that bell icon so you don't miss a thing. And I will see you on the next one. Peace.